Greetings from South Korea. I am Adang, Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news making headlines today. After weeks of preparations, the presidential office is entering the final phase of its return to Cheong Wa Dae, the Blue House. With the move nearly complete, the presidential press corps has also relocated, and live briefings will begin there today. Returning to Cheong Wa Dae was one of President Lee Jae-myung's key campaign pledges. He has argued that the compound is better equipped with established security, protocol, and diplomatic infrastructure, making it more cost-efficient and operationally effective. Most of the relocation is expected to be completed around Christmas, with President Lee likely to begin officially commuting to Cheong Wa Dae from his current residence in Hannam-dong before the end of the year. The ruling Democratic Party introduced to the floor of the National Assembly on Monday a contentious bill to create a special tribunal for insurrection to deal with issues arising from the prosecution of former President Yoon Suk-yeol and his aides for their failed martial law bid. The Democratic Party is adamant on passing the legislation to thoroughly punish those involved in the martial law declaration. They argue the current judicial leadership, specifically Supreme Court Chief Justice Roh Hee-dae, is biased, necessitating a special structure to ensure fair accountability. However, proceedings are stalled as the main opposition People Power Party has launched a filibuster to block its passage, condemning the move as an anti-constitutional attempt to judge shop and seize control of the judiciary. The Democratic Party on Monday agreed to a special counsel probe into allegations that the Unification Church bribed lawmakers across the aisle. The ruling party pledged a probe that leaves no stone unturned, calling for a sweeping review of the church's reported involvement in politics, including illegal donations and influence peddling linked to the 2022 presidential election. The People Power Party has welcomed the latest development and proposed follow-up talks, while warning the probe must not serve as political retaliation. The presidential office for its part urged for an impartial probe into the allegations, regardless of political affiliation or status. Exports during the first 20 days of December rose 6.8% on year. According to the Korea Customs Service, shipments overseas totaled $43 billion, driven by semiconductors. This amount is the highest ever for a 20-day period, surpassing the previous record of $40.3 billion, set last year. Average daily exports increased 3.6% to slightly over $2.6 billion, and shipments of semiconductors jumped 41.8%. Meanwhile, imports gained 0.7% on year, resulting in a trade surplus of $3.8 billion. South Korea's first commercial orbital rocket, the Hembit Nano, will lift off from Brazil this week following 3 delays. Korean space startup Inuspace announced a new launch plan on Monday. The rocket will be launched from the Alcantara Space Center in Brazil at 3:45 p.m. Monday, local time. That is 3:45 a.m. Tuesday, Korea Standard Time. This time weather conditions could be a factor due to rain in the forecast, with Brazil currently in its rainy season. The launch has been postponed 3 times due to abnormal avionics signals, a cooling system issue, and a fuel tank problem. The mission, called Spaceward, aims to place 8 payloads into a 300-kilometer orbit, including 5 small satellites from Brazil and India and 3 experimental devices. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.